Good morning, students. Today you are going to have your maths class and where we are studying round off numbers. Okay. So in the last two classes you have already studied how to round off to the nearest 10 and how to round off to the nearest 100. So by now you know which one is your rounding number and which one is your right hand side number. Clear? So we'll start today's class with round off to the nearest 1000. So, when we are rounding off to the nearest 1000, so nearest 1000, that is 1000, the thousandth place will be my rounding number. And just the place, that is the right side of thousands, that is 100 here, it's my right hand side number. So, you just need to know your rounding number and right hand side number and you can solve any sums. Clear? Now let's take rule 1. Okay. If the digit at the right hand side, that is hundreds, this is okay, right hand side, that is hundreds, is 0 or 1 or 2 or 3 or 4, that means less than 5. Then we replace the digits of hundreds, tens and ones with 0. Okay. So, we replace hundreds, tens and ones with 0. Clear? And my rounding number remains unchanged. Okay? So, my rounding number will not be changed. Why? Because my hundreds number here is smaller than 5. So, if it is smaller than 5 or less than 5, then my ones, tens and hundred will become 0 and my rounding number will remain unchanged. So let's take example here. It is 8,65,352. Okay. So I'll write the places on the top. Ones, tens, hundreds, thousand, 10,000 and lakh. Clear? So I have to round off to the nearest thousand. So thousands place, this is my, that is 5 is my rounding number. Okay, I'm writing RN here, short form of rounding number. And which one is my right hand side number? Can you guess? That is hundreds. That is 3 is my right hand side number. Clear? So 3 is my right hand side number which is in hundreds place. So my right hand side number 3 is more than 5 or less than 5? Of course, it is less than 5. So, if it is less than 5, my rounding number will remain unchanged. Okay. So, what I am going to do? I am going to change. I am going to replace 2 ones to 0. I am going to replace 5 tens to 0. I am going to replace 3 hundreds to 0. And the rule says if it is smaller, that is hundreds number, my right hand number is smaller than 5, I am going to keep my thousands unchanged. So my thousands place, that is my rounding number here is 5. So it will come down. So 5 will be unchanged. 5 will stay as it is. Then 6 will come down and then 8 will come down. So how I'm going to read it? I'm going to read it 8,65,000. Okay. So I have rounded down. Okay. I have rounded down. Why? I have gone to the lower side. So it is rounded down. So I have rounded down. That is 8,65,352. I have rounded down to 8,65,000. Clear? Now let's come to rule 2. It says if the digit at the right hand side, that is 100, is 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 or 9, that is more than 5 or equal to 5. Clear? Then we replace the digits of hundreds, tens, ones with zeros. Okay? And add 1000 to the rounding number. So rule 2 is same for all the nearest numbers, that is whether I'm going to round off to the nearest 10, that time rule 2 says I have to add 10. When I'm rounding off to the nearest 100, my rule 2 says add 100. And when I'm rounding off to the nearest 1000, my rule 2 says I have to add 1000 to the rounding number. Clear? So I'll write the places on the top: ones, tens, 100, 1000, 10,000 and lakh. So it is 9,24,834 that I am going to round off to the nearest 1000. Now, which one is my rounding number here? That is thousands place, that is 4 is my rounding number. So I've got it. Which one is my right hand side number? Students, you guess now. It is 8. It is my right hand side number. So what the rule says, if my hundreds place or my right hand side number is more than 5, then I'm going to replace ones, tens and hundreds with 0 and add 1000 to rounding number. So my right hand side number here is 8. That is of course bigger than 5. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to add 1000 to rounding number. Clear? So I'm going to replace 4 ones to 0. I'll replace 3 tens to 0. I'll replace 8 hundreds to 0. And what I'm going to do? I'm going to bring down 4 here? No. I'm going to add 1000. So 4 thousands plus 5, 4 thousands plus 1000 will give you how much? Will give you 5,000s. Again, 4,000, that is my rounding number, plus 1,000 will give me 5,000. Clear? Now 2 will come down and 9 will come down. So how I'm going to read it? I'm going to read it as 9,25,000 that I have rounded up. Okay? So 9,24,834 I have rounded up to 9,25,000 because I have gone to the higher side. So it is rounded up. Now let's solve these two questions where we have to round off each of the following numbers to the nearest 1000. Okay, so when we have to round off to the nearest 1000, what we have to keep in mind? We have to keep in mind the two rules. So let's take the first example, that is 13,25,875. So I'll write this number here, that is 13,25,875. So I'll write the places on the top. I'll give first comma and then I'll write the places on the top, that is ones, tens, 100, 1000, 10,000, lakh, 10 lakh. Clear? Sorry students, it's lakh. Done. So what I'm going to see here, I'm going to see which one is my rounding number. So I'm rounding to the nearest 1000. So thousands place, that is 5 is my rounding number. And which one is my right hand side number? That is hundreds place, that is 8 is my right hand side number. So here my right hand side number 8 is more than 5 or less than 5? It is more than 5. So here rule number 2 is applicable, where the right hand side number 8 is more than 5. So what I have to do? I have to add 1000 to rounding number. Just done. Just see, just this much if you remember, you can solve the sums. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to replace 5 ones with 0, replace 7 tens with 0, replace 8 hundreds with 0, and I have to add 5 thousands plus 1000. I have to add 5,000 with 1000. Clear? So it comes to 6,000. Then 2 will come down, 3 will come down, and this one. I'll put commas here. So how I'm going to read it? I'm going to read it as 13,26,000, which I have rounded up. Okay. So 13,25,875 I have rounded up to the nearest 1000. Let's take example. The next example, that is 9,87,253. I'll write ones, tens, 100, 1000, 10,000 and lakh. Now, which one is my rounding number? My rounding number is in thousands place, that is 7. So 7 is my rounding number. Then which one is my right hand side number? 2 is my right hand side number. So my right hand side number, that is 2, is more than 5 or less than 5? It is less than 5. So here rule number 1 is applicable, where my right hand side number is smaller than 5. So what I am going to do? I will keep my rounding number unchanged. So I am going to replace 3 ones with 0, 5 tens with 0, 2 hundreds with 0, and 7 thousands will remain as 7,000. 8 will come down and 9 will come down. So I have rounded what? I have rounded up or I have rounded down? Think, I have rounded down. Okay, that is 9,87,253. I have rounded down to the nearest thousand because it is smaller than 5. So it is 9,87,000. Rounded down. Done.